Hit it, hit it.
Hello and welcome to the Marley Bird YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make the radiating ripple stitch pattern. This stitch pattern is a quintessential stitch pattern for all crocheters. The ripple is used a lot in making afghans or accessories, just like that one behind me. That is the radiating ripple throw. It uses 17 Super Saver colors from Red Heart to complete that beautiful afghan. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make that very simple stitch using just a few stitches instead of the number of stitches that are written for that particular throw. Did I mention that it's a free pattern available over on redheart.com? It totally is. I'll put a link to it down there in the video notes, or you can click right there and get your link or get your pattern right now. Totally up to you. Why don't you look down here and let me show you a little bit about this little swatch. You can see here in the ripple swatch that I showed you that I have gone ahead and changed colors every 2 rows. And I've done that for 2 reasons. One is so that I could see if these colors work really well together. I kind of wanted to see how they played along together, right? The second reason is because you can better see the actual ripple stitch pattern if you change colors. Meaning if this particular swatch was done in just one color, it would be very difficult to see the stitch pattern. But by changing colors every 2 rows, I'm able to see it really well. Now, could I change colors every 4 rows or every 6 rows? Absolutely, totally up to you. The point here is that by changing colors, I'm able to see this really beautiful ripple. Now, the formation of the ripple is simple. You start at one end, you crochet some stitches down to a point that I'm going to call the valley. And we do some sort of a decrease at the valley. For this particular stitch pattern, we do a double crochet 3 together. Then we're going to go out of the valley and get to the top of the hill. And by doing that, when we're at the top of the hill, we're going to do an increase. And the increase, we're going to put 3 stitches into 1 stitch to create this hill, to create the hilltop, okay? Then we're going to go down and we're going to create another decrease to get our valley down here with our double crochet 3 together, and we're going to go up and finish off finally with a partial hill. So we start off actually with the partial hill. I didn't mention that at the beginning because I wanted to mention it now. You start off with a partial hill, meaning we put 2 stitches into 1. When we're at the hill, we put 3 stitches into 1. When we're at the end, we have 2 stitches into 1. When we're in the valleys, we're going to do double crochet 3 togethers. Let me show you what that all means. Let me go ahead and push this aside, and I'm going to pull in a chain I've already completed with 36 chains. I figured you already know how to do a chain stitch, so you didn't need to watch me complete that. Now I've done 36 chains because that's how many chains I need to complete that swatch size. If you're making the throw, obviously you're going to have more stitches than 36, but for this swatch we're going to do 36. For the instructions that I'm following for this swatch, click on the link right there and that will take you to my website so that you can get these exact instructions that I'm using for the swatch, okay? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do a double crochet in the 4th chain from hook. So I'm going to yarn over my hook, go into the 4th chain from hook, never count the loop on your hook, guys. Yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, draw through 2, yarn over, draw through 2. Now what this has done is I've skipped 3 chains and I've put a double crochet in the next chain, which means those of you who've been following along, I need to use my stitch marker. I'm going to place my stitch marker in the 3rd chain of those skipped chains, okay? So I'm putting my stitch marker right there. I'm just right into the chain. Can you see that? What that's going to do, it's going to let me know when I come back down on the next row, that's where my last stitch is going to go. Okay, do that right now. So I've done my double crochet. Now I'm going to do a double crochet in the next 6 chains. So there's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now it's time for me to do my decrease because this is where my valley is. Remember I mentioned the valley, and we're going to do a double crochet 3 together. This is not difficult. All you're going to do is yarn over your hook, go into the next chain, yarn over your hook and pull up a loop. Yarn over your hook and draw through 2. Okay, we're going to stop right there. So we've partially completed 1 double crochet. Yarn over your hook, go into the next chain, yarn over your hook, pull up a loop. Yarn over your hook, draw through 2, and stop. So we have 2 partially completed double crochets. Yarn over your hook, go into the next chain, yarn over your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over your hook, draw through 2. So we have 1, 2, 3 partially completed double crochets, and it's time to yarn over and draw through all of our loops on our hook, because what that is going to do, it's going to leave us with 1 stitch remaining. See that V right there? That's my stitch. That's the 1 stitch remaining. So I took 3 chains and I made them into 1 stitch with that decrease. Now I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to put a double crochet in the next 6 chains. So there's 1, 2, and this is taking me up so I can get to my hill, remember? So I just worked in the valley, so I need to get up to the top of my hill. And once I get up there, I'm going to do my increase by putting 3 double crochets all into 1 stitch. Now, I've been talking, so I need to go back and I need to count and see how many double crochets I've done. So what I do is I go ahead, I find my decrease, it's right there. And so now I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 double crochets I've completed. So now I've got to do my 3 double crochets into my next chain to create the top of my hill. So they're all going to go into 1 chain. So there's 1 and 2 and 3. So now I've just completed the top of my hill. Now I need to go back down because remember we had 2 valleys. So there's 1 double, here's 2 doubles, I'm going to do 6. Here's 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now that I've done my 6 double crochets, I know it's time for me to do my double crochet 3 together because I'm in the valley. So let's walk through this one more time. I yarn over my hook, go into the next chain, yarn over my hook, pull up a loop, yarn over my hook, draw through 2. Yarn over my hook, go into the next chain, yarn over my hook, draw up a loop, yarn over my hook, draw through 2. Yarn over my hook, go into the next chain, yarn over my hook, pull up a loop, yarn over my hook, draw through 2. I have 4 loops on my hook, yarn over, and draw through all 4 loops, and that's done. So I'm going to go ahead, get out of the valley, get up to the top of the hill, which is it's my finish line. So I have to do 6 double crochets again. So there's 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now that leaves me with 1 stitch left. In that last stitch, I'm going to do 2 double crochets. So here's 1 and 2. Remember I said that we're going to do partial increases? So we have 2 double crochets here at the end. At the beginning, right down here, we have a chain 3 that counts as a double crochet and a double crochet right there. So there's our 2 from the beginning. I'm going to go ahead and widen the shot so I can show you what I have created, okay? As I go ahead and I lay this out, you can see that the stitch already wants to pull in the valleys and it wants to go out at the hill. So where I've done my double crochet 3 together, it already wants to pull it in. But by doing the corresponding increase with my 3 double crochets at the top of my hill, I get this really nice ripple pattern that's already beginning. Now I'm going to go ahead and jump into the next row so that way I can get to the end here and show you how to work into this stitch, but I also want to show you how to work your double crochet 3 togethers in the valley yet again, okay? Let's go ahead and do our chain 3 and turn. You can turn and chain 3, it doesn't really matter, whatever works best for you. Now remember this chain 3, it's going to count as a stitch here because I'm going to yarn over. I'm going to put my first double crochet into that first double crochet, and that's going to give me my partial increase here at the end. So I want to make sure I grab my next stitch marker and I put it into the 3rd chain that I created just so it's hanging out there, okay? You're going to have a marker on either side of your work. So there's one there. Now I need to go down to get to my valley. So I'm going to do 6 double crochets into the next 6 stitches. So there's 1, here's 2, here's 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now it's time for me to do my valley. Now you might be saying, well, wait, Marley, I'm not completely at my center, because here's my center right there. That's the top of my double crochet 3 togethers. Well, we're going to work into the double crochet 3 together with this next double crochet 3 together. You ready? Here we go. Yarn over our hook, go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, draw through 2. So we just went into the stitch that was to the right of our double crochet 3 together from the row below. Now we're going to do a partial double crochet into the double crochet 3 together from the row below, just like we did. So there's 2, and we have to do 1 more. Okay, so this is going to be my double crochet 3 together. Yarn over, draw through all of them, and what this does is it stacks it right on top of the one from the row below. You see how that works? So now we've got to get out of the valley and get to the top of the hill so we can do our increase. So we have 6 double crochets again to get out of the valley. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. One thing you'll notice is your 6th one is going to be into the first double crochet of your 3 double crochets that were in the same stitch. See how that one's in there? The reason is it's the middle double crochet from those 3 from the row below. That's where you're going to put your 3 double crochets for this row. So going into that one stitch, I'm going to put 1, 2, and 3. All of them go into that one stitch, just like that. So I've done my hill. I need to go back down to my valley and work another double crochet 3 together. So there's 1 double, there's 2 double, there's 3 double, 4, 5, and 6. Let's do our double crochet 3 together one more time. Yarn over, go into the stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, draw through 2. I have 3 loops or 2 loops on my hook. Yarn over, go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, draw through 2. You'll notice that the one I just completed is the top of that double crochet 3 together from the row below. Last one, yarn over my hook, go into the stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, draw through 2, yarn over, draw through all of them. Yeah, we completed our valley, and we're going to get the heck out of here. So we're going to double crochet out of the valley with 6 double crochets to the top of our hill, where we get to complete a partial hill with 2 increases, or 2 double crochets, I should say, into the last stitch. And if I needed to count just to make sure, I could find where my double crochet 3 together is and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm in the last stitch. You can see I've already have it marked, so I don't even have to wonder where it is. I yarn over and I go ahead and place my 2 double crochets into that marked stitch. Okay? See how that works? Just like that. Now that you know how to increase the stitch pattern, why don't we learn how to change colors so that you too can change colors, okay? What I want you to notice here is I'm at the end of the row of my 2nd row right here, and I've completed 1 double crochet into the last stitch. So I need to do 1 more. So I go ahead, yarn over my hook, go into my last stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, draw through 2. But right now, because I want to change colors on the next row, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to grab my new color, and I am going to just hold it. Can you see? I'm just holding it right next to my old color behind, just to give it some stability. And I make sure I'm always leaving 4 to 6 inches, you guys. Make sure you leave a nice long tail. You'll be thankful at the end. I hold it back there. I'm going to yarn over with my new color and pull through those stitches with my brand new color. What this does is it allows the new color to be on my hook, but it also allows the old color to just be white. Like there is no blue fade through right there. It's all white. I can go ahead and carry on with my new color by doing my chain 3 and turn. I've went ahead and I've snipped my old color, leaving a really nice long tail so you don't have to hang on to it anymore. and I would carry on with my stitch pattern, which we know at this point, I'd put a double crochet right here into this first stitch, and then I have to go down my valley, so I would put a double crochet in the next 6 stitches. Now I do want to point out, you'll notice I'm not crocheting over my tails. The reason is, if you're going to do all of these color changes, if you were to crochet over your tails, all of those would eventually work their way out with use. So you want to go ahead and leave a nice long tail and weave those in when the piece is all done. I can set this down and you can see I've gone ahead and woven in my ends already, and you can't tell, okay? And they are not going to come undone. It's not going to be completely unsightly. If you're going to put all this work into something colorful like a chevron stitch pattern that changes colors every 2 rows, please, please, please do yourself a favor, leave a long tail and take the time to weave in your ends instead of just working over them as you crochet, because you want this to be beautiful and remain that beautiful piece that looks like it was purchased at a store instead of a bless your heart, you made that, didn't you? I know you guys are going to absolutely love working up this Radiating Ripples throw. If you do, please share with us on the Facebook page over at Red Heart. It's just facebook.com/Red Heart. You can also join my Facebook group, which is Marley Bird, and enjoy all of the excitement that we have over there as we share different patterns that we're working on or different things that have been released for the Marley Bird pattern line, whatever it may be. We would love to have you join us there. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and you will give me a thumbs up and hit subscribe so that way you're up to date whenever there's a new video released. I'm Marley Bird, proud spokesperson for Red Heart Yarns, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye.